Here's my gas can. My brother Josh blew himself up and his 2 kids. Cocaina. No, Ernie's mind being blown with today's topic or missing link in evolution.
Freaks, weirdos, predators. These are things that we cover on this YouTube channel on a daily basis. And today will be no different. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you 46-year-old Martin Cabello, better known as Martin Cabello. Name so nice you have to say it twice. God, that sucked.
I love it. Yeah.
Today's subject, collusion, racketeering, and wire fraud.
Now, I won't be going over collusion, racketeering, or wire fraud like our friend here said, but I will be going over some of the wild, outlandish shit that he says all the time.
Today's topic, slavery. You see, monkey do. The eye of providence, the all-seeing eye, the eye in the sky, or a hue in the shape of a man and a hue in the shape of a woman standing in a cloud overseeing the creation and collection of all communication. A pure picture came raw. As above, so below.
So who is 46-year-old Martin Cabello? Well, I can give you my opinion, psychopath. Well, this news article will give you kind of an insight of what he gets into on his daily life. A Pierce County man who garnered a large social media following will be involuntarily committed for a health treatment instead of facing charges for stalking and harassing his South Hill neighbors. Martin Cabello III, 46, recently was deemed mentally incompetent for the 3rd time to answer to those charges, leading a Pierce County Superior Judge to this week dismiss the criminal charges against him. Originally charged in district court before that case was tossed out and refiled in Superior Court in March 2023, Cabello had faced 3 counts of stalking, 3 counts of cyber harassment in violation of the protection order, and 1 count of felony harassment. Now, what does this mean for Martin? Well, it means he's a psychopath. What does it mean for me? It means we get content like this.
Now, Ernie copped an attitude and went on a hunger strike after his last waterboarding because he deemed it was inhumane and against the Geneva Convention. Right, so now we're going to see we've securely fastened his crown and restrained it to the board behind him, right, and his abdomen and his neck, right? And we don't want to damage his voice box to prevent him from telling us what he knows in the future after waterboarding. So we're going to have to use a feeding tube and go in through his nose, right? And then we'll let him sit here and contemplate his decision, right? And we accidentally forgot to tie his feet down, right? So like a monkey, he's able to grab this utensil here that was left unattended and reach up and cut the restraints free and get away without them realizing it. And hopefully the only injuries he sustained is a damage to his forehead, which we'll close up with some staples.
So Martin is a poet. He is a class act and he has a way with words, some would say. And he has this weird obsession with Ernie. He really doesn't like Ernie, but sometimes he does like Ernie. But I think Ernie's his way to get out frustration, whether it's sexual, some sort of mental frustration, physical frustration, whatever it is, Ernie gets the worst end of it.
Hey, Big Ernie. What's up, little Ernie? Fact or fiction? When Martin had his traumatic brain injury, he was invited to a Google party for photographers and journalists, where some of them decided to document the U.S. military creating suicide bombers and mass shooters in Pierce County, Washington. What do you think those journalists and photographers from the international community did with their documentation of the U.S. military torturing my wife and me for extortion for a Dr. Courtney Hunt, MD, and to cover up pedophilia, necrophilia, and bestiality by retired veterans in my community?
So you're going to notice that Martin here is constantly being abducted by some big organization, whether it's Google, the CIA, FBI, Facebook. He's basically been taken by every organization. He is the one. Another beef that this man has with the cartoon world is with Paw Patrol. Saying that out loud, insane to me. Paw Patrol is basically his kryptonite. It is Thor's hammer to his life.
Check it out, a Paws Patrol sandwich container from the dollar store. Now, the devil's in the details. Me and my wife were offered business deals and money from a doctor and some men representing Helly Hansen, or to represent Helly Hansen, in exchange for me and my wife not reporting the rape of my mother-in-law and some other people. Do you think Helly Hansen and the people that approached us to give us money to not report those rapes did that so that me and my wife would be able to report rape and abuse of other children in the future if we saw it? Or did they offer those business deals because it's illegal and would prevent us from being able to report any abuse of women and children in our lives in the future, since we already took money to cover up crimes against women and children in our past? The devil's in the details. Why was Helly Hansen offering money to cover up crimes? So more could take place, or to stop more from happening in the future?
I would not want to be Helly Hansen in the receiving end of this guy. He's losing his mind, and that's exactly what we cover on this channel, and people got to be called out for their degeneracy. Now, surprisingly, Martin is in great shape. I'm not sure how he does it because he is a troglodyte. He is out of his mind, but he is in good shape, better shape than me. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Baked, how does he do that when he spends all of his time being a psychopath? Well, luckily for us, he gives us his health regimen.
All sussy. You don't know molecular biology, the stacking of ions and molecules for pharmacology? You don't know biochemistry needed to heal your biology? That's okay. You don't need to. All you need to do is get a microorganism from a blossom to a bosom, or a knee pull to a nipple. They'll do it for you. And when you think about this in real life, microorganisms treat the human body like gods. If we treat our microorganisms inside of us like we are gods, and strengthen them, give them growth hormones, make them strengthen their own genetics, when we need them, when they fight for us, even when we don't know they're fighting for us, they'll have the arsenal or all the armor needed to do so.
Martin, buddy, come close. Come close. Closer. Come closer. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Nobody knows what you're saying, Martin. And that's the beautiful thing about Martin, is he's a mysterious man. That's why all these big corporations are after him, because he's just that guy. He's him. Timothy. He's Timothy. And what if I told you he had a wife?
Check it out. I stole Poseidon's trident from the Navy SEALs, and they'll never get it back or their access to heaven till they get their shit together. Check it out. My wife's making ham and eggs. Again, double entendres. Freedom and independence. Dependence. Being in a state where you rely on me or something else for your survival. In, as in being in that cycle. Independence. Separately, it means slavery. Compound word. Together means freedom. Free-dumb. Here's your free ignorance or your freedom when I put you in dependence, or a cycle where you rely upon me for the antibiotics that come from a piece of bread, or the alcohol that comes from a rainbow. Osmosis. Independence. Your freedom.
The alcohol that comes from a rainbow. Osmosis. He knows things we don't know. He's better than us. He's better than me. He's better than you. He's better than his brother that blew up his 2 children in a house explosion. I wonder if that was a real story.
Here's my gas can. My brother Josh blew himself up and his 2 kids.
Watching the pregame, and there was a big explosion. It shook the house.
Outside, a house completely engulfed in flames.
I just knew that if there was anyone in there, they didn't survive. You could tell that instantly from what we saw.
And inside, a troubled father with his 2 young sons, 5-year-old Braden and 7-year-old Charlie.
Yep, I'm thinking he probably told the truth on that one. But anyway, I say we wrap this up with a special video of Martin giving us a special muscle smoothie that he likes to drink before getting buffed, beefed out, and toned up.
Today's topic, schizophrenia. Martin says he's had roommates, lived places. Well, his family says he doesn't. Would that be his family gaslighting him to pretend he has schizophrenia to the authority so certain illegal activities can be covered up? Or does he truly have schizophrenia and ain't no one lived here and he's never moved out of his house?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Martin. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like videos like this one, check out our gang stalking video that we just put out last week. It's a banger. Leave a like and subscribe, please. It really does help. Leave a comment on a video you might want to see in the future. Till next time, stay amazing, stay dope, but most importantly, stay fresh. Bye.